But yeah, shout out to Oren because a lot of the stuff that he does, he just continued to make everything easier for the new students, especially when it comes to the strategies, when it comes to, the scanner. He definitely listens to his students. That way he can go ahead and continue to develop and just make things better, more accessible, easier to understand. So if you guys have any questions about anything, or if you guys feel like levels need something, um, guys, don't be scared to mention it inside the Go Live chat. You know, that's something that I would do. And then obviously when I was able to get his number and get access, more access to him, I was just texting him like, yo, I think levels needs alerts, bro. Like if we can get alerts on levels, that's gonna be game changer. And then before you know it, he added alerts, which is, right here in this area right here. And if you guys don't know, levels comes with 100 alerts, right? Doesn't matter what style you trade. You don't even need to trade levels per se. You don't, if you trade smart money, then trade smart money. If you trade support and resistance, or trend line, or whatever the case, however you trade, usually the powerhouse doesn't trade anything like that. But if you did, you don't need to use any of the things on levels. But what helps is having your alerts, right? I know you guys, you need to invest into trading view in order to get a certain amount of alerts. But if you already have levels and you're already working on levels, you might as well continue to use the alerts. Because when you do everything right, it should pop up. The notifications do get sent to your phone now. So they will be sending the notifications on the ALB app as long as you set up the alerts and notifications correctly. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know. Does anybody want to look at a specific chart? What chart do you guys want me to look at today? Let's go ahead and get into it. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. Unmute, type it in the chat. What do you guys want to look at?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you look at USDJPY?
Yeah, is there something specific that you're seeing?
Well, I did, but it didn't go my way, so I was just wondering. Hold on, let me see if I could send it to you.
Yeah, if you can, just make sure when you go over here to send it with the link. I know you're probably not on levels, but if you send it with the link on TradingView and send it into, the Zoom, it'll help me out a lot easier.
Uh,
Let's see what she's looking at. Let's go to higher time frame on USDJPY. So before she, sends in her trade or her idea, right? We were already looking for some bearish momentum because of the structure here. There's a lot of liquidity that's been hanging out down here, right? And the structure ended up giving us a nice shift, right? We have a break of structure here, right? Nice BOS. We have a break of structure here to the upside. This is a very nice BOS. Right now, if this is my break of structure to the upside, guys, right? Let's go ahead and just label this. If this is my BOS to the upside, where would my change of direction line be? Who wants to go ahead and draw my chart? If anybody knows, I know we got some vets on here. So if you want to annotate, go ahead and draw. Let's go. Yes, Kenny. Is it Kenny or Eli today? I feel like I always got to ask because they be using each other's accounts. Eli, let's go. Let's go. What's good, Eli? Love it, bro. Yeah. So my change of direction line would be here right now. When it comes to the head and shoulder, this is a very nice higher time frame head and shoulder based off of structure. Oops. Okay, I'll go ahead and take a look at that right now. So we have higher high. This is my left shoulder. Higher low. This is my neckline. We get this break of structure. Now, this peak here, guys, is going to be my head. Now, as soon as we change direction, we now have a head and shoulder setup, right? Now, where do I like to place my shoulders? From the highest wick of my higher high down to my closest body point. Now, we can see it's going to be this green candle, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and change this to gray. I like my shoulders gray. I'm not sure why. I don't know. I like it gray. Now, this would be my stop loss on the weekly time frame. Now, if you're looking at this, right? If you're looking at this and this is your setup on the weekly time frame, who would be scared of a 360, pretty much a 370 pip stop loss? Who would be scared of that with the minimum 1 to 3 risk to award? Who would be scared? Be honest. Okay, Etney said she would be, and that's okay, right? I understand that, especially on higher time frames. That's a pretty large a stop loss, right? But I've learned no matter the time frame, always trust the structure that's been given, right? I know for some people when they see this on the, and again, this is a weekly time frame. Most people aren't playing on the weekly time frame, but we can see here that everything still applies whether you're trading on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. Everything stays the same. So my stop loss would be there with the minimum 1 to 3 risk to award. Now, knowing that, there's obviously swing points, right? And for me, I like to say, whenever market makes that U-turn to come back for us, that's what we would like to target, right? So notice how as soon as we get this change of direction to the downside, when does the market start to make that U-turn? Market starts to make that U-turn right here, right? So as the market's making its way back up to my sell zone, long-term swings, I would like to go ahead and target this area right here. This would be my long-term swing play. So yes, we're always focused on 1 to 3, but what if we can hold a little bit more and we can actually get something like this, which is a 1 to 5, right? Now, as we come over here, notice how the market taps into this left shoulder or right shoulder, right? Now, let's see what happens. 1 to 3 was definitely taken. It did its job. That was the minimum, right? We focus on 1 to 3s. And if we could hold, I would like to partial out the majority of my trade, maybe like 80%, right? 80%, let the 20% ride and see if we can get a bit more. Now let's see if the market has hit TP already. So it's on its way. It's on its way, which is a good thing, right? This can possibly happen this week. Whoever's been holding this swing opportunity, this can possibly be happening this week. And if I'm looking at this, if we go to the monthly time frame, there are no other opportunities that I can see with inverted head and shoulders or starting points within this area. The last starting point that I see is right here. So obviously this may take a good amount of time to come down to, but this could possibly be a nasty swing, right? We can, hit TP, find a starting point, and then continue. Hit TP, find a starting point, and then continue. Just like it did right here, right? Find a starting point, continue. Now, this would be obviously that shift from uptrend to downtrend if this actually happens, right? If this actually happens. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pull up what she was looking at. Let me stop sharing. Let me go back over here. So this is the 5-minute time frame, right? This is the 5-minute time frame. Now, I don't really know what's going on this left-hand side because this is all I'm seeing, right? This is all I'm seeing. Now, that's one of the down. I mean, I'm not sure if you are actually this zoomed in while you're trading, Etney, or if this is just how you sent your chart. But for me, I know it's now that we just went over higher time frame, right? And my head, higher time frame is telling me market's bearish right now, right? So when we go to a lower time frame, just like the 5, right? When we go to the time frame like the 5, a lot of these are going to be counter trend opportunities. Counter trend opportunities. Now, I can see exactly what you're seeing, right? This is the right structure. This is the right structure that you should be looking at. And did the market give you an opportunity, Etney?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, it did right here.
But
This
then
is
I went, yeah.
okay, yes. This is the first touch, right? So it looked like it gave you minimum if you entered at the top of this box, right? With your stop loss right here. We can go ahead and look at it on a live chart, but it looks like minimum it gave you 1 to 1, and then you could have or you should have moved your stop loss to break even, and then the market just tanks and goes the opposite direction, right? So I do know you're implementing your sister's way of entry, which is perfectly fine, right? But at the end of the day, this is what I'm seeing, right? We have the change of direction here with the breakout rally, and my starting point would be this. It looks like this, unless it's a small one, but it looks like this is a very, very clear, you know, last selling
Mm-hmm.
candle, which I would have used that. And obviously we do have the left shoulder here as well. So depending on what you entered off of, it looks like you entered off of in balance opportunities, which is fine. But depending on what you entered off of, it possibly gave you a 1-to-1 break even scenario. But now this is the thing, right? You got to understand how to adapt when market conditions change. So let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and go back to levels so we can go ahead and break down everything else. So as we know, right, we're on the weekly time frame. The market looks like it's this bearish momentum is getting pretty strong. Right now, on the weekly time frame, we know that we have a break of structure here. So possibly, I don't know when, but the market may come back up here. So we just have to be ready for that. But now let's continue to drop down. So this is what I'm seeing as we continue to drop. We do have a break of structure here. Very faint break of structure, but we do, right? If I zoom in, right, this is the daily BOS. Now, my last buying candle before my break of structure would be here. So the market actually respected that and continued to the downside. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, cool. So market was respected, and it looks like we have another opportunity in this area if the market continues. But now look, let's go back down to the 1. And this is where you ended up having some problems, right? In this area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now
Yeah.
let's drop down. So 1, we were taking counter trend trades, right? And that's going to be some things that may happen, right? You're obviously, if you're taking counter trend trades, if the market is flowing downstream, for me, I'll just want to wait for a confirmation to the downside. Not saying you can't take counter trend trades, but in my opinion, if the market is, headed to the downside with the aggressiveness, I want to just continue to the downside. So now let's just take a look here. I would love for the market to come back this way, even if it would have taken its sweet time, right? If the market did respect this zone, right, I would have loved for the market to make its way back up so we can go ahead and see if we can take some more sell opportunities to the downside. It didn't happen that way, right? So now let's go ahead and drop down to the 15-minute. Now we can see on the 15-minute time frame, we have one very last BOS right here. You guys see this? So if it doesn't have a red arrow, but if we drop down to the 5, there's probably going to be a red arrow in that area somewhere. I guess not, but we can see it with our eyes, and that's okay. Let's go to the 1 minute just to see if it has something. And it does. And it does. But let's go back up to the 15 for clarity. Right? So this is my starting point. Right? That's my starting point. Yes, it tapped in a couple times, and just the starting point was just holding consolidation, it looked like. Just building liquidity, building liquidity, building liquidity, building liquidity. We go deeper inside of this starting point, and then the market tanks. Right? The market tanks, and it actually followed the trend. Right? But now this is where it looks like you had a little bit of trouble here. So let's go back down to this 5-minute time frame. Now, I understand what you're seeing. We have consolidation. We see the liquidity sweep. So let's go ahead and put that right there. Liquidity has been swept. Right? The liquidity has been swept. And then right away, the market changes direction and goes higher. So you're thinking, right? Again, just focused on this structure. I'm not sure if you were going on higher time frame and using higher time frame bias in your favor. But at the same time, if we're also looking at just zooming out and just looking at this, Etney, what does this look like to you?
Consolidation.
Consolidation. So for me, I know some people like to trade inside consolidation, but for me, I really don't. I really don't want to because then we see really good structure setups right here that end
Mm-hmm.
up getting clapped most of the time. Why? Is because we were manipulated and confused with the consolidation, and that's it happens sometimes, right? So for me, I would rather not participate inside a consolidation. I really don't like doing that. So a tip that I can give you is to zoom out, right? I'm not sure if you're just like this, but zoom out. And if you can see something that's just been chilling right here, I would probably hold off for a little bit, right? Not only that, hop on a higher time frame so we can see directional bias, right? If the market is flowing downstream, it's much easier to flow with the stream than against the stream, right? But now check me out. And this is where you have to learn how to adapt when the market conditions change. And this is why, as long as you understand the strategy and understand when to flip from buy to sell or sell to buy, you should never fear a loss. Never fear a loss. So check this out. Etney, you are looking for buys here. Now let's take a look at what it gave you. On levels, this is the starting point. Now, if you are looking for buys in this area, stop loss is at this low. That's if you were entering, obviously, at the top of this box. The market definitely gives you a one-to-one break even, which means this should have just been a break even trade. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if you were focused on a little bit deeper inside, then obviously, because this would be the shoulder as well. So if you were focused on a little bit deeper, you most likely just took a loss, and that happens. That's okay. There's nothing we can do about that. I mean, there is, right? Because you can use higher time frame bias in your favor. But sometimes market's just going to do what the market's going to do, right? So now I have to flip my bias. So we were looking for buys. Market obviously wanted different went the opposite way. So now this is what we do. We refresh. Let's delete everything. Now, is there a specific structure in here that you can see for sales, right? Because look at Edney, I know you can see this, right? What if you're seeing this opportunity, what are you thinking? If you're looking at structure that looks like this, what are you thinking? Buy opportunity or sell opportunities?
So buys.
You don't have to say with your chest, right? Does this structure replicate this structure here?
Okay, yeah.
So what were you looking for in this area?
Buys.
Buys. Now, when we look at this type of structure, consolidation, sweep of liquidity to the upside, and then we continue to the downside. What are you wanting from this structure? Buys or sells?
Sells.
You have to say that with your chest, girl.
It sells.
Sells. Love it. Now, the thing is, sometimes we get caught right here looking for buys, and that's okay, right? It happens. I get it. I see what you're seeing. But what if you refreshed, you zoom out? Now, what does this look like to you? Higher high, higher low, higher high, market drops. What does this look like to you? Buy opportunity or sell opportunity?
Sell.
Sell opportunities. Correct. So now let's go ahead. Market was going higher and then change direction to the downside. So now, if we just got clapped with buys and the market just gave us structure that we should be looking for sales, what should we be thinking now?
Uh, what do you mean? Sorry, could you ask me that again? I was looking at my chart.
No, you're good. So if we were looking for sales, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously we just got clapped, now once we refresh and zoom out and we see this structure, right, sell type structure, after getting clapped on buys, what should we be looking for now? Buys or sells?
Oh, sell opportunity.
Sell opportunities. Right now, this is a 5-minute time frame. Let's go to the 15-minute. Notice how everything starts to become a bit more clear. But let's go to the
Mm-hmm.
1 hour time frame. Let's go to the 30-minute just to make things a bit clear. Yeah, that's what I want. So do you see cell structure in here?
Yeah.
All right. I want you to mark. Can you annotate on your chart or on Zoom? Can you annotate?
Mm, right here.
So I want you to find liquidity and I want you to mark up the liquidity sweep like you usually do.
Um,
Where do you see a liquidity
so,
sweep to the upside?
mm, right here. Or is that just consolidation?
That's just consolidation. But
Okay.
if I was looking at liquidity and the liquidity sweep, right? If I'm looking for consolidation and I'm looking for that liquidity sweep, I would like to see that high peak, right? So would this be considered a liquidity sweep here?
Yeah.
Now,
Well, no.
oh, which one is it? Which one is it? Help her out, fam. Would that be a liquidity sweep or what would that be? Help her out, guys. It's okay. Does anybody know? It is consolidation. You guys are not wrong about that. But if the market was just consolidating here, consolidating, 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 and the market pushes up and drives past this consolidation, would that become a liquidity sweep? Yes or no, guys? Yes. Do you see what I'm looking at right now, Etney?
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay, cool. So now that we have our consolidation and we have our liquidity sweep, notice levels was telling us to look for buys because we had a blue arrow. And you did. You were looking for buys right here. And then notice how the market shifted from buy opportunity and we got this change of direction. And then look what happens. The mark level says, you know what? I think we should be looking for sales instead. So if we're looking at this, this is my breakout rally right here, right? 4 candle breakout rally. Where's my starting point, guys? Go ahead and annotate on my chart. Where is my starting point on the 30-minute time frame? Yes. So if I'm looking at this, I want to be looking for sell opportunities in this area to continue the downtrend. Thank you, guys. If you can delete those circles, I would appreciate that. Now, if you're all right, Zoom user, you're drawing dots everywhere, big dog. Don't get kicked out. Appreciate you. Now, if I'm looking at this as a head and shoulder setup, I want to pick the highest wick in this consolidation area down to the closest body, which would be right here. Boom. This is going to be my left shoulder, right? So I like this structure, especially because we just built liquidity, market swept it, and then automatically, as soon as it swept liquidity, massive, massive drop to the downside. So it's okay. You took a loss here. It is what it is. But do you think we could bounce back now that you
Yeah.
actually understand the direction of the market?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
So that's why you guys should never fear a loss. Every setup you take, if that gets clapped, delete stuff, refresh, zoom out, reanalyze, because after every loss, you should get some clarity. You should understand what the market wants to do next. So, Etni, yes, you took a loss, but do you understand what we should be doing next?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what?
Look for sell opportunity.
Look for sell opportunities. Let's go, Etni. Love it. So, if you're
Woo!
somebody, yes, ma'am, I love it. So, if you're somebody who likes trading off the starting points, this would be your area of interest, whether you'd like to take it at the first touch or the 50%, right? You can go ahead and enter with your stop loss above the high. Now, again, this is only 28 pips. It looks like it's big because we're on the 30-minute. But guys, the stop loss should always be the dominant high. I know sometimes you want to put a tighter stop loss, and you can use something like this if you choose to. But understand, if we take a loss with the starting point setup, right? Let's just say market hits your stop loss because you were using a tight stop loss with the starting point setup. What entry did we just get into? Who knows? We're still looking for sells, but we have opportunity one, which is our starting point. What's our second opportunity? The shoulder. We are inside the shoulder right now, right? So if you're somebody who likes to take tight stop losses, you may take a loss there, but understand we are going to continue looking for sells until we actually get a break and close above. Once we get a break and close above, we are no longer looking for sells. We should be looking for buys. So again, if you like trading with tight stop losses right here, understand you may take one loss, but we are still going to continue to look for sells until the head and shoulder gets violated. And we don't get a violation until the market breaks and closes above the stop loss. Does that make sense, guys? So it can go as deep as it wants in this structure. The market can go as deep as it wants, right? As deep as it wants. Market can tap in your starting point. Boom, you just hit a stop loss. It's okay, it happens. Or maybe you're waiting for confirmation. Market continues, almost hits your stop loss. But as soon as we change direction, we are continuing to look for sell opportunities. Yes, maybe the starting point wasn't the real opportunity. Maybe the right shoulder was the opportunity the market wanted, but the market can go as deep as it wants. But as long as it does not break and close above your stop loss, we should still be looking for sell opportunities. Give me a 2 if that makes sense, guys. So never fear a loss, guys. Understand how to adapt when market conditions change. And now it's just about taking opportunities, right? Understanding what to do next. And I like once I understood that, I was like, so really all I have to do is be patient and use my risk to award, right? Because let's just say we did take a loss right here, right? Etney ended up, well, I believe, I'm not sure if she took 100% loss or just took a break even. I don't know. But let's just say she did take a loss here. Boom. Took a loss. It happens. Now, if we took a loss at 1%, how much are we down, guys? If we took a loss at 1%, we took one trade at 1%, how much are we down? We're down 1%. But let's just say the market comes into my second entry, right? Now we've adapted. Yes, Adrian, we're down 1%. Now we've adapted, right? We understand where the market wants to go now. Let's just say the market comes into my shoulder. Now, obviously, the market's right here right now. Again, I like to say whenever the market wants to make that U-turn and come back for us, that's where we want to target. So let's just say the market gave us this massive break of structure and the market makes that U-turn right here. I would like to target this as my swing TP. Right? My swing TP. And that gives us a 1 to 6. Yes, we should be partially now at 1 to 2, 1 to 3. Right? You should be partially now 50% of your trade at 1 to 2. You should be partially now another 30% at 1 to 3. And just leave the rest of your the rest of the 20% down to your main TP. Now, this is a 1 to 3 risk to award. So let's just say we took one loss, we're down 1%, and we actually hit take profit with the 1 to 6. How much are we up now? We're up 5%. Does everybody understand that, or should I break that down a little bit more? All I need is just anybody that wants me to break that down, put a question mark. and I'll go over that in depth. Okay, Etney, Brian, got you. This is for us, bro. Ready? So we took a loss right here, right? Etney was looking for buys, ended up, having a loss. That's okay. So one trade at 1%. Took a loss. I'm down. Oops. I'm down bad. I'm down 1%. Right? Is this making sense so far? I took one trade here at 1%. I took a loss. I'm down 1%. Make sense? Everybody with me so far? Okay, cool. So now let's just say, now we understand where the market wants to go now. It's giving me sell type structure. We should be looking for sells. Now let's just say, second trade at 1% risk hits TP6. Hits, oh my God, I cannot spell. Hits TP. Oh my God. With a 6% gain. Right. So now we took our second trade at a 1% risk and it hits TP with a 6% gain because this is a 1 to 6, right? I'm risking 1%. The trade was a 1 to 6, which means whatever I risked, which was 1%, I gained 6 times that, 6%. Is everything making sense so far? We're good on that? So look, what's 6 minus 1? 5. So I was gonna say Zoom user. I mean, I know I'm bad at math, big dog, but 4 is crazy. You know? No, but it would be 5. Right? So I'm down 1%. I gained 6. I'm up 5%. This is why we should never fear loss. This is why we should never fear emotions and understand how to react when market conditions change. Does that make sense? Let's see who put a question mark. Etney and Brian. Does this make sense? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome. Of course, of course. So this is something missing 3. What do you mean, Zoom user? Missing 3. Is that off topic? Is that not for this? Because I'm not sure. Oh, never mind. I now see what you're commenting on. Got you. That's funny. You're missing 3 fingers, bro. That's wild. So yes, guys, this is something I shouldn't have this here yet because the market hasn't made that U-turn. But this is something that I'm looking at. We'll just focus at a 1 to 3 right for right now. And I like to enter as soon as it touches 1 to 3 risk to award. Now, whenever the market starts to, go ahead and start rounding out and coming back for us, I would like to go ahead and have my swing take profit there. So we just have to wait for that to happen. I'm hoping we can get something like this tomorrow. That way we can go ahead and just shift the market back down. But yeah, it's going to take time. So we just have to wait and see about our swing take profit. But as of right now, this structure is screaming sales, and I want a minimum 1 to 3 risk to award. Making sense, guys? We're good on this? You guys should have this marked up. Anytime we mark up charts and I'm giving out opportunities, you guys should, 1, be screenshotting opportunities, and 2, be marking these up on your charts as well. Don't worry about the numbers. Worry about the structure, because sometimes levels will have different numbers than what you're seeing on your broker. So don't focus on the numbers. If you're seeing this, right, you should actually be marking up on your trading platform, whether it is MT4, MT5, or Trade Locker. Mark up on your trade where you place your trades. That way you can use those numbers and you can be as accurate as possible. Let me see. I know Zoom user. Who is Zoom user, bro? Because Zoom user be sending in hella trades. Solana, 1 hour opportunity. See, this was really good. Are you bragging right now, my boy? You trying to show off? This is a show off moment right here. I like it. I like it, big dog. But no, this is good opportunities, right? We have break a structure to the upside. Obviously, we can see the market is in a what in this area. On a 1 hour time frame, we're focused on going up. Market is flowing upstream. Market is uptrending. So we're going to go ahead and focus on that. We have a break of structure to the upside. We have a strong breakout rally, which gives us a nice starting point in this area. Very small zone, but was obviously respected. This was the lowest wick in that area, but it looks like he ended up using the dominant low, which is 100% fine. But yeah, if the market wants to continue going higher, right? I know you have this line for possible head and shoulder sells, but if the market is going higher, we actually want this head and shoulder sell opportunity to get clapped, right? That way we can have an inverted and can continue going higher. So this would be my BOS to the downside. And if the market can actually break and close above, we would have left shoulder, neckline, head, change of direction, continue going higher so we can go ahead and look for more opportunities. Does that make sense, guys? This was one of the hardest things that I had to like put through my thick skull, right? I know we see possible sell structure, but if we want the market to go higher, sometimes the sell structure needs to get clapped, right? Especially in an uptrend. If we are not focused on like possible sales on this left-hand side, right? If this actually gave us something and actually broke and closed below, I would probably participate in some sell opportunities. But because it gave us everything that we need to see to continue uptrending, gave us a nice opportunity, I would like to see if we can actually just continue breaking structure to the upside. Left shoulder here, head, continue the BOS of the upside, look for more opportunities, and continue going higher. So yeah, good stuff. Zoom user, do not know your name, but let's go ahead. I think same zone. Okay, yeah, same. I think you sent in another one. Oh, it's the same. You're just like, bro, look at my shit already. That's funny. Let's go ahead. You guys can see this chart, right? It's by Shashil. You guys can see this? All right, cool. Cool. Let's see. I'm just curious. Did you enter right here? Shashil, this is your chart, right? I'm seeing entry point, stop loss point, and take profit point. Did you enter? Oh, okay. Give me a second. All right, now y'all can see it, right? I'm seeing entry point, stop loss, and take profit. Did you enter right here? Yes, no. It's not a hard question. It's either you did or you didn't. You can just type yes or no, bro. No. Okay, so then I'm very, very curious. I'm very curious on why there's an entry target. There's an entry. The market has been entered. You're up $20. Your stop loss is right here, and your take profit is right here. So where exactly did you enter at then, if it's not right here? Because everything kind of looks like it just ran through these zones. So I'm guessing that you did, right? I don't lie when I can see everything. Don't ask for input or help if you're going to lie to me. That's the last thing you want to do. All right, that's the last thing I want to do. So I'm not going to give my effort and time and my bias for someone who's just going to not take my opinion or word seriously. Right? So you entered here for buys. And honestly, I'm seeing nothing worth buying in here. This looks like this is a sell zone and you're entering buys. So I'm just curious on why you did that. But as of right now, you should not be in any type of buy opportunities unless you bought probably in this area based off of structure over here. Right? So you should not be in these buys. If you are up $20, you should close out because this is neither smart money or levels entry analysis, or levels are smart money buy opportunities. Other than this, probably we have consolidation, we have a liquidity sweep, and then we got some bullish momentum. So as of right now, we do have inverted structure. We're on the weekly time frame, so this may take some time, right? But we have inverted structure. We have a starting point here that you have because of this change of direction. This is the last selling candle before this breakout, so that is correct. But we should be waiting patiently. We should be waiting patiently for the market to make its way into either this zone and take off, or come down, enter this zone and take off. Right? It doesn't look like you're trading with either smart money or level strategy, and that is the recipe for disaster. There is no bias, whether buy or sell, based off of structure here. It looks like you're doing one-to-ones, which is nothing that we recommend. So yeah, in my opinion, I'm just not liking this right now. You're probably sending in this chart asking if you're right or if this is good or if you should keep holding. And I mean, in my opinion, that's, if you're not gonna send me anything worth levels or smart money, and you're just asking if you should keep holding off of something that you've been on my calls for a minute, you've been with us for a minute. This is nothing that we actually teach. So I suggest that you get out and wait and be patient since you're up $20 right now. And because you're entering in the middle of nowhere, you can easily, I mean, you're barely floating above profit right here and you're up $20. I can only imagine if the market goes, I'm just not liking this. Why? I don't mean to pick on you, bro, but you have your stop loss literally where your next entry is. So you should be waiting patiently. That's the last thing I'm gonna say about this. Nas, for me, I would still like to see if the market can go lower. I have two biases right now with Nas. This is what I'm seeing here. We did have, I believe this was news. What are you looking at? So let's go ahead and look at this real quick. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just throw y'all this way. 1 hour time frame. She has some buy opportunities here. Okay, looks like she caught the sale. Okay, sis. possible buy opportunity here. Okay, cool. So let's go back. Oops. So this is what I'm looking at. We have a breakish structure to the downside. Market came inside of that, most likely hit stop loss. This was news for sure. But after hitting stop loss, market went our direction. So not only that, the market actually gives me another breakish structure to the downside. And we have another sell opportunity based off of the starting point and based off of a head and shoulder play. My stop loss will be at the high. But notice we have liquidity here. So I would not mind. Oh, this is not XXX yet. This is liquidity. Would not mind if the market can make its way and give us a nice rejection to continue down. Also, I'm not really liking this type of structure at all either. That gives me more of trend line vibes. And that kind of looks like liquidity as well, to me in my eyes. Right. So let's go over here real quick. We'll adjust. Now let's go to a higher time frame. Let's go to the daily. Let's zoom out. Let's go to the weekly. Now, this is what I'm looking at on the weekly time frame. I'm not sure if it's going to get this low, but we can go ahead and dissect. We have liquidity sweep, right? Liquidity was being built. Market swept liquidity and then aggressively pushed to the upside. So we have a change of direction to continue up. We have blue arrows, which means this right here is my starting point for buys. Now, there is obviously structure within here as well. So let's drop down to the daily. I'm going to go ahead and put a line right here because I want to know where market has touched. Cool. Now let's go to this left-hand side. Now, market is rejecting off of this low, but this is what I'm seeing as well. I'm seeing another opportunity here. So let's dive in. I'm seeing a clean BOS to the upside, right? This is a nasty, nasty, nasty breakout rally, right? My starting point, my very last selling candle would be right there. That's my starting point. Now, I know we do have equal lows here or a low here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put that there. Delete this. Make this green because that's liquidity. And if whoever likes trading off of imbalances, I mean, this could be an opportunity for you as well if you like trading off of those. I personally don't. But this is what I'm looking at. So the market may not reach my zone down here, but as long as it takes this low, right? If we take this low and market sweeps this liquidity on this far left side and we change direction and the market gives me buy structure right here, BOS, change of direction, I am going to be looking for some possible buys in this area so we can shift that market back up. Does that make sense, guys? I don't care if the market misses my buy entry by a couple pips. I don't care. As long as the market takes liquidity on this left-hand side, possibly even enters in this imbalance, that's okay. Sometimes I get missed because imbalances are so strong, but I choose not to enter off of the imbalance is here. I would much rather wait for the confirmation off of the imbalance and wait for the imbalance to give me this change of direction, right? Once we get this change of direction, I would love to see if we can go ahead and continue buys after that. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know if that makes sense for you guys. So let's drop down. Let me actually pull up the chats. Okay, cool. So let's drop down to the 4 hour. We can see that market is saying, yo, we have possible sales. But this is the thing. We just took liquidity, right? We just took liquidity. We have break a structure to the downside. this would be my change of character line. So again, this is on the 4 hour. So again, lower low, left shoulder, lower high, lower low, which is my head. Now, if we could change direction, I would like to see if we can look for some bias to this sell opportunity. But let's drop down the 1 minute or 1 hour. Not really liking how this low looks personally for myself. So I want to see if we can continue looking for some sell opportunities. Going back to the 4 hour, the 4 hour starting point would be here in this area. Now, if we drop down the 1 hour time frame, we can see that there's a lot of liquidity here. So there is a good possibility that the market can just go ahead, take this, tap into this 4 hour starting point and continue down, right? But I also see this 1 hour starting point right here. And the market is almost there. But because of the liquidity, I'm less likely to take this off the first touch. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and drop down to the 15-minute. And this is the structure that I am seeing. I don't really like this sell structure, to be honest. It just doesn't look as clean to me. I know some people may see that and say that is clean, but I've just learned on lower time frames, you really want a nice, clean BOS and change of direction. This looks more of like a liquidity sweep. So the market swept liquidity. And if we can go ahead and change direction, we can possibly continue higher. So we had left shoulder, sweep, change the direction to go higher. Now we have to see if the market is actually going to hold this zone or if the market is going to go higher. But I'm not really liking this as sell opportunities, to be honest. Because we have a really nice starting point here. And this is equal lows on levels, so I'm not really liking buys down here either. I would like to see if we can go ahead and clap those. And that's the thing, guys, understanding bias, liquidity, and structure and memorizing these things. You know, everybody should be journaling and taking screenshots of before and afters to give you a good like the law of familiarity, right? That's important. That's definitely important. So if we can get a breakish structure to the upside, let's say the market continues higher and makes its way, this would be my BOS to the upside, and this would be my change of direction. So if the market taps into here, and by sometime in the morning, the market is down here, I want to be looking for sales. Why? Because we had liquidity, left shoulder, we have the head, and if we can change direction, that'll give me some good sell structure. Good sell structure. So in the morning, we can go ahead and just put a box here, look for some sell opportunities, and then we can have some sells by the morning and see if we can go ahead and continue this drop. But again, be careful because we do have liquidity here and there's still an imbalance here on the 15-minute time frame. I'm not sure if that's on TradingView or just on levels. But that also lines up with the 4 hour starting point as well. So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. Any questions though? Give me a second, bro. I don't see your iMessage text. Oh yeah, I got you. I was busy all day, bro. Sorry. I've literally I woke up and just stayed busy. I just got home from getting groceries, hopped on a call with Neri, and hopped on this call. And after this call, I have a leadership call literally right now in a few minutes. So, yeah, sorry, Kevin. I will get back to you most likely. I did not ship it out today, but I will do that tomorrow for you, bro. I got you. So yeah, guys, be careful with the structure here. The YouTube, let's see. Give me a second. I'm going to be restructuring the YouTube channel. And I will be making things strictly for Powerhouse. And I will be, pulling back a lot of these videos. So yeah, keep that in mind. But I'll go ahead and send you the first video. That way you can go ahead and you guys can have the YouTube channel. When you get a chance, could you post the pre-recordings? Mainly Monday is what I want to rewatch. Okay, got you. Yeah, I'm like a couple of videos behind, so I will go ahead and do that tonight after the leadership call. But does anybody have any questions before we go ahead and hop off tonight? Any questions? Any questions before we hop off? We're good. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Fire call. Fire call. I hope you guys got some value. Make sure you guys do your studying. Make sure you guys send in your charts, get your hands dirty. Make sure you guys are staying patient. Once you find your zones, we are waiting. We're waiting for the market to come back, or we are waiting for more confirmation the market wants to continue. If the market wants to continue, we're going to play off of fresh zones, right? Now, if anybody needs one-on-ones, guys, get at me. I don't want nobody guessing. You guys have a lot of access to a lot of people, and everybody wants to help you guys, right? So if anybody needs any help, feel free to reach out. If you guys you guys have questions on your charts, mark up your charts, send them into the chats, tag somebody so you guys can get feedback, so we can all work together. But with that being said, make sure you guys are trading responsibly, calculate your trades, and yeah, guys, hope you guys have a great trading week, man. I will see you guys on Friday so we can go ahead and kill the week. Let's get it, fam. Peace out.